Today we continue our Superman theatrical release deep dive as we take a look back at Superman 2, the one where Superman fights 3 evil Kryptonians, gives up his powers for love, and Lois Lane actively tries to die in every scene that she's in. We start with a hostage situation in the Eiffel Tower, bomb, terrorists, and chaos. And here comes Lois Lane, Pulitzer Prize winning reporter and part-time parkour enthusiast, deciding the best place to report from is the top of the tower. Because if there's anything journalism school teaches you, it's to run toward the explosives for the best quote. Girl climbs a cable like she's speedrunning a death wish. The military is trying to clear the area and Lois is like, let me just climb into the bomb room real quick. Like, honestly, what's the plan here? Write your final draft on the way down? Anyway, Superman luckily saves her again, launches the bomb into space, whoopsies, and unknowingly triggers the villainous plot by freeing General Zod and his crew from the Phantom Zone, also known as Evil Space Mime, Murder Barbie, and Giant Toddler. Nice one, Soups. What's the Three Stooges' goal? Well, Zod wants people to kneel to him. Ursa wants to collect military badges like they are Pokemon, and Nan, well, he's just happy to be there. Back on Earth, at Niagara Falls, Lois starts suspecting Clark might be Superman. Logical. But her method of proving it? Well, it's to jump into a waterfall. Just hurl yourself off the edge and hope Clark gives up the act mid-splash. She really said, if I die for journalism. Okay, here's where we need to pause for a second. If you go to your TV and just search Superman 2, this is the version you'll watch. The Richard Lester version, the theatrical release. However, there is also the Richard Donner cut. Remember that guy? Well, he directed Superman 1. He was hired to direct Superman 1 and 2 at the same time. He and the studio did not get along, so they decided to fire Donner when he was about 80% done with Superman 2. In comes Richard Lester. But to get director credit, you need to direct 50% of the movie. So, some of the film went into reshoots. Once they had enough changed, they then finished the rest of the film, which certainly leads to some inconsistencies in the tone at times. Alright, now that we've got that out of the way, let's go back to the recap. One of the biggest differences, however, is that in the Donner cut, Lois just straight up pulls a gun on Clark, firing, tricking Clark into revealing that if he wasn't Superman, he could have died. However, she reveals that the gun just had a blank in it. In the Lester cut, which is the theatrical version, Clark trips into the fire, revealing to Lois that he did not get burned, and that is where she draws her final conclusions. Another side note here, while the gun scene definitely has a layer of cringe to it, I feel that it would actually have been a smarter way for Lois to reveal Clark's identity. It helps audiences feel she outsmarted Superman. Now, we would just be straight up ignoring the fact that in the first movie, Clark caught a bullet to save Lois, so he definitely could have realized if in this version Lois shot a bullet at him or if there was not a bullet. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, eventually, Clark admits the truth. They take a romantic trip to the Fortress of Solitude, and he gives up his powers to be with her. Which sounds sweet until you realize the world is now being conquered by Space Voldemort and his friends. Zod shows up and takes over the White House, demanding the world kneel. And Superman, now depowered and beat up by a dinner bully, has to get his mojo back. Somehow, it's not really explained and they handle it off screen. He returns, fights Zod and crew in downtown Metropolis and uses some trickery in the fortress to win. No punching needed, just clever crystal magic and conveniently placed bottomless pits. And because this movie can't end without one more ethically questionable decision, Superman kisses Lois so hard that she forgets everything. Nothing says romance like memory-wiping smooches. Superman 2 is fun, chaotic, but it still works at times, mostly thanks to Christopher Reeve being the perfect Superman. The villains are great, the action is solid, and Lois, she's iconic, but girl needs a helmet and a life coach. If you liked this recap, hit the like button, subscribe for more classic movie reviews as we work our way through all 8 theatrical release Superman movies, and comment if you have watched both versions of this movie, or if I should do another review comparing in a deep dive the Lester cut versus the Donner cut. But until next time, don't climb the Eiffel Tower with terrorists, don't give up powers for a weekend getaway, and definitely don't kiss your coworkers into amnesia. Stay super, nerds.